A dramatic escalation between Tehran and Brussels. Iran has declared the naval and air forces of all European Union member states as terrorist organizations. The move comes after the European Union formally blacklisted Iran's elite Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, and the diplomatic fallout is intensifying. In a strongly worded statement, Iran's foreign ministry called the EU's designation unlawful and unjustified. Tehran argues that the IRGC is an official pillar of Iran's armed forces, and that labeling it a terrorist group violates international law and the principles of the United Nations Charter. Citing reciprocal action, Iran says it is legally compelled to respond. The move references legislation passed by Iran's parliament in 2019, after the United States designated the IRGC as a terrorist organization. Under that law, any country supporting Washington's decision can face countermeasures. The European Union formally added the IRGC to its terrorist list following a political agreement earlier this year. Under the bloc's counterterrorism sanctions, the IRGC will now face asset freezes across EU member states. EU operators are also barred from providing funds or economic resources to the group. The decision adds the IRGC to a list that now includes 13 individuals and 23 entities under restrictive measures. The EU move followed unrest inside Iran late last year. Tehran says violent riots were fueled by foreign-backed actors and incitement from U.S. and Israeli leaders. Iranian authorities have alleged that American and Israeli intelligence agencies provided support to armed elements during the unrest. These claims were denied by Western agencies. Iran insists its actions were aimed at restoring order after attacks on public infrastructure, mosques, ambulances, and government property. With tensions already high over nuclear negotiations with the Trump administration and regional conflicts on the side, this latest move signals that relations between Tehran and Europe are entering a far more confrontational phase, and neither side appears ready to step back.
A single word is now driving the Washington-Tehran standoff: capitulated. President Donald Trump, according to his envoy, is curious why Iran hasn't yielded under mounting U.S. pressure. Warships are in position, talks are stalled, and the question hanging in the air: why hasn't Tehran blinked? A revealing admission from Washington. In an interview with Fox News, U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff disclosed that President Donald Trump is curious why Iran has not capitulated despite what he describes as significant American military pressure in the region. The word frustrated was avoided, but the implication was clear. The White House expected movement. Witkoff said Trump personally raised the question. With U.S. naval and sea power positioned strategically, Washington believed Tehran would feel compelled to yield. Instead, Iran has held its ground. Nuclear negotiations remain stalled on core issues, and neither side appears ready to concede. According to Witkoff, the U.S. expectation is straightforward. Washington wants Iran to formally declare that it does not seek a nuclear weapon and to present concrete, verifiable steps to prove it. In the absence of that declaration, progress remains frozen. The envoy was careful with his wording. He stopped short of saying the president is frustrated. Instead, he emphasized that Trump believes he has plenty of alternatives. That phrase carries weight. Alternatives could mean diplomatic pressure, economic tools, or something more forceful. Behind the scenes, the military backdrop is impossible to ignore. The U.S. has deployed significant naval assets to the region, projecting power across key waterways. The expectation in Washington: overwhelming force would accelerate compliance. But Tehran's posture suggests a different calculation. Iran has not issued the declaration Washington seeks, nor has it outlined new concessions on its nuclear program. From Tehran's perspective, negotiations continue, but surrender is not on the agenda. The gap between pressure and capitulation remains wide.
Times of India videos, your daily dose of India and the world. Global news, different views, and sharp analysis.
Pressure of expectation from your fans, your supporters.
That has often served as a backdrop for several Bollywood.
You're not a brute majority anymore. If you individually take out Tehran.
Making sense of global conflicts. Tracking the new emerging world order.
Strike on Israeli military bases.
A multi-pronged.
To stay out of harm's way as Israel started bombing targets across.
Understanding changing alliances in a polarized world. Tune into TOI videos for all this and more. Click on the bell icon to subscribe and never miss an update.